Wow, that sun is so strong.
Yeah, we're not used to it.
I'm not used to it either, and I live down here. I'm not used to it. I've been driving, and then, you know, I'm in the shade, and then I get out to do the luggage, and I can't believe how strong that sun is.
Yeah.
It's not even summer yet. This is spring.
No, I know. This is winter for us.
Where do you live?
Oh, Canada.
Oh, wow.
Mind
Yeah, I mean,
you,
the
my
Canadians
husband-
love Hollywood, huh?
Yes. Well, we've never been before, but yeah, I definitely come back.
Hollywood is where the Canadians come.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, for years, this section has been dominant with Canadian tourists
Yeah.
since the 60s and 70s. I don't know why. Hollywood Beach, it's in between Fort Lauderdale and Miami.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like a secret because this beach is one of the best beaches, and there's not a lot of tourism on this beach. The
Yeah.
people that you see here are either locals or Canadians.
Yeah.
You know, it's like spring breakers don't come here.
Yeah.
People from New York don't come here. All the people that are traveling throughout the country, they either go to Miami or Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I found it was actually really nice having little kids. Like, it wasn't like a big party
Yeah,
zone.
yeah, and not only that, this is actually less expensive than
Yes.
both Fort Lauderdale and Miami too.
Yeah.
It is less expensive.
Yeah.
And I think they gear it a lot of the pricing for the Canadians. They've always done it. They've done early bird specials, breakfast for the Canadians.
Yeah.
They know that we're going to the Fort Lauderdale airport, right?
Yes.
They know that the Canadian currency is taking a hit, so they do specials for them to come
Yeah.
down here. They market to Canada. Yeah, so it's always been. Matter of fact, there's the parking lot right here. They're not so much anymore, but a lot of Canadians, I guess, rich Canadians have these giant campers,
Yeah.
and they drive here from Canada,
Yeah.
and this is where they used to park. And if something happened and they don't park here anymore, maybe
Yeah.
they're not allowed, but they used to park right here. This is run by the city,
Yeah.
and they let me park there during the week for $8, but during the weekends they don't let me in there because of the trailer.
Yeah.
So there's something going on where they don't let buses come in here anymore.
Yeah.
But I remember, I've been doing this a long time, and I remember always coming to Hollywood and always coming in here. I've been coming in this parking lot because there's not so many places you can park this by the beach.
Yeah.
So I would park it there, pay my $8, go for a swim. It's by the airport, and then go back to work.
Yeah.
Sometimes I would do that twice a day.
Yeah.
And I remember coming here and always seeing these big, beautiful campers with Ontario and all these Canadian plates.
Yeah.
And I became friendly with the girl that collects the money, and I'm like, why is all these Canadian buses here? And she goes, they reserve spots here.
Yeah.
I says, really? She says, yeah, they pay for a month, and we charge them by the month. I says, how much? She says, I don't know, but we charge them to pay to keep the camper there for a month. So
Yeah.
they must have stopped doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you look now, you won't see any
Yeah.
buses, and they used to be only buses.
My aunt and uncle, they are from Ontario, Canada as well.
Oh, yeah?
And they are now retired. Their kids are grown up, have kids of their own, whatnot. And so they have a really nice trailer and a truck, and they used to spend, before COVID, they spend their whole winter in Florida, and now they're spending their whole winters in Texas.
Wow.
They rent out their house at home.
Get in the camper and go.
Yeah, they get in the camper and go. They live off of the rent.
Well, you know what? It used to be 10, 20 years ago, Fort Lauderdale, Hollywood, Miami was a lot less expensive.
Yes.
Right now, Texas is still reasonably priced,
Yeah.
and even Hollywood, it's probably much more expensive than they used to. But this is all, this is all,
Oh, yeah.
it used to be all buses.
Yeah. So do you know where to drop us off at the airport?
What airline you going to?
Flair?
Yeah, that's Terminal 2.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's right next to, we'll see, it'll say. I think it's right next to Air Canada. Matter of fact, Flair doesn't have a very good reputation.
No.
I've been picking people up from Flair and they lose their luggage.
We had 3 luggages and one of ours got lost.
Yeah,
on
I
the way.
had this. If you look back, when I undo the trailer, you're going to see a polka dot piece of luggage there,
Yeah.
which is my luggage.
Yeah.
So I keep like some T-shirts in there and some bathing suit and a towel. I keep goggles and flippers.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what when I go to the beach or when I do something, I go in my little suitcase and I grab what I want. These girls, there was like 5 girls and 1 guy
Yeah.
from Canada. They started crying because I was picking them up at the airport to go on a cruise ship.
Yeah.
and you can't get to the cruise ship later than 2:30, and here it is. I picked them up at 11, so it takes an hour to get there. That's 12. So I'm there, and I'm like, hey, I got other jobs too. I'm like, listen, I gotta give you your money back. You guys aren't coming out. I can't just wait. Please, they lost our luggage and they're trying to find it. I says, they're not going to find it. They're just telling you that. Because they're not going to admit it. They're not going to find it. It's gone. If it didn't come out of the plane, it's gone. What do you think? And I says, don't be fooled. I said, I know. I hear this story all the time that they're looking for it. They never find it. Because if it's not off the plane, it's gone. It was never on the plane. And they started crying, please wait for me, please wait for me. And I said, all right, I'm going to wait 15 more minutes and then I'm going to go and refund your money. And then they came out at the last minute before I was ready to leave, all crying. I brought him to the cruise line. I gave them my clothes from my polka dot suitcase. I got a couple of Nike tank tops, I had some water shoes, t-shirts, shorts. I gave it all to them, and I says, well, I'm picking you guys up after the cruise. You guys can give it back to me. So they did give it back to me, and they told me they canceled the return, and they went with Delta. Because Air Canada, Delta, and Flair and Porter are your only options out of Fort Lauderdale. But Delta, Delta's on top. They're the most expensive, and they're the most reliable. Then you got Air Canada, then you got probably Porter, and then you got Flair's the worst.
Flair,
at least from what I hear.
Flair is terrible, but it's when you're traveling with this many people, it's the only way for me to.
Well, the trick is
carry on. You gotta do
exactly
carry on.
Pray that they don't cancel your flight and make all your mandatory stuff in a carry on. I mean, thank God they didn't put their passports in there for check-in. You're not supposed to put your because they can. In Canada, you're allowed to fly with your driver's license, right? You don't need you don't need your passport to come here, do you?
Yes. We
Oh, you do?
Passport,
All right. Well, then that makes sense because a Canadian would never leave their passport in the checked luggage. But as Americans, when we travel throughout the country, if we wanted to travel with our driver's license, we can. And if you want to keep your passport as a secondary form of identification, we can keep it in that checked luggage. But that is stupid because if somebody loses your luggage, now they have your passport. But we don't need it to fly in America or in in the Virgin Islands, Puerto Rico, Alaska. We can just use that driver's license.
So we flew in on Monday, the 1st, and then we left on a cruise on the 2nd, and so frantically, I was running around. Luckily, it was just our toiletries and all that kind of shit.
You could buy everything on the ship, but it's a lot of money. It's expensive. So even flip-flops are $20. Crappy,
Got all of our flip-flops were in that bag.
I gave them my flip-flops.
I just ran to Walmart real quick. I left it.
That's good. That's the cheap. That's the stuff that you need to bring on the ship in case it gets taken or you lose it. It's no big deal.
But it's next time I'm just gonna pay the extra and just take bags that are in my hands.
And it's good that when it comes to traveling to go on a cruise ship, a lot of people don't even go for the expense of a hotel. If you're confident that you can get an early flight and maybe catch a backup standby flight, sometimes it's better because you can save money on the hotel. It's actually more exciting too because you're waking up and that day you're going on the ship. You're in Canada and that day you could be on the ship in Miami or in Fort Lauderdale. Well, you went out of Fort Lauderdale, right?
So the first time we went on a cruise, I just took 2 of my kids just to kind of test it out, and our flight was supposed to leave at 6 in the morning. So I'm like, that's perfect. That's enough time to get there.
That's definitely enough time.
You
could, as long as you get to the cruise ship by 2:30, you're good.
Well, our flight was delayed. It was delayed. We got to the cruise ship with 20 minutes to spare before the gangway went up.
Listen to this. So those doors close automatically. They're on a timer. That way you can't manipulate the person in charge, and then you don't put him in an uncomfortable situation. So those glass doors are on a timer. Well, listen to this. After those doors close, a police officer, this is every terminal in Fort Lauderdale, Miami, a police officer goes on duty the same time that those doors close. And that police officer's job is just to tell people that show up after those doors close, sorry, you missed your cruise. Because if that police officer's not there, you know what happens?
They become irate.
They break the door down. And especially if you think about people that are flying in that morning, maybe from even out of the country, let's say. It's crazy. Even it doesn't even matter where even if you were flying from North America, these people were so crazy when they got there. We're only 5 minutes late, banging on the door, breaking the door.
Yes.
And meanwhile, the staff says, sorry, we can't even process you, because when those doors close, our computer system goes off. That's it. We just because you get through the door doesn't mean you're getting on the ship.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. People were breaking the doors, like going like that to get in, and then they were saying, once those doors close, we can't process you anymore. You got to leave. We got to call the police. They got to fix the doors. So that happened so many times. It happened almost every day.
Yeah.
If you think about how many people miss their crew, there's people every day that miss a crew. Every ship, there's people every day that miss the ship. If there's 4,000 people on the ship, at least one person missed that cruise.
And that's a lot of money to be that unorganized to miss that.
Well, but people that are, you'd be surprised. I'd say about 30% of the passengers fly in the morning of.
Yeah.
30. And I know because that's, especially when it's Miami and they fly into Fort Lauderdale, they have a sense of urgency that I really like.
Yeah.
Because I like when passengers are like that. Most of them aren't.
Yeah.
They're on vacation, they're drinking, they're partying, they don't care what time they get to the hotel.
Yeah.
But when people have to get to the cruise port in the morning, even if they're early, like they landed at 9 and they got plenty of time, they're like blowing up our phones, the driver's phone. Where are you? Where are you? I'm like, we're picking people. We're picking people up from the ship, taking them to the airport, and then we're going to pick you up. And so that you could see that it's also not good because of the anxiety level.
Yeah.
When you know you're flying in the day before going to a hotel, you're enjoying your vacation more. Yeah, you're spending a couple of bucks more, and actually you get to spend the night in Fort Lauderdale or Miami. If you pick the right hotel, like that hotel would be great because it's got a great nightlife. It's got a great nightlife over there. Did you go to Nick's Bar?
No, we went to Rocco's.
Yeah, Rocco's is good too.
And we watched the live.
Yeah.
The live concert thing.
Well, there's a lot of nightlife on Hollywood Beach, so you can do a lot of things. I recommend that to a lot of people. Yeah. Well, you did good.
Yeah, it was a really nice place to stay. Like
you did good.
Even though like we flew in the day before, getting on the cruise the day of the cruise, I'm still completely stressed out. Even though I know I'm gonna be there on time.
No, you got to get there. You also got to get there around 12 too. And most people get there at 10:30, 11.
Yeah.
And it's too much because there's still too many people coming off.
Yeah.
And there's still a lot of anxiety to get in. Because in Fort Lauderdale, you got to go through a guard gate.
Yeah.
Miami, there's no guard gate. Even though it's 10 times busier, it at least there's a kind of more of a free flow of traffic, where Fort Lauderdale, every car's got to be inspected.
Yeah.
Not the shuttles, but most cars, they're telling them to lift the trunk and look in here and look in there. And it is not cool. Like, I don't like to get there before 11, unless I'm picking passengers up. I don't like to drop passengers off there before 11 because it's way too busy.
Yeah, it was. Well, I was having a little bit of anxiety because it was like the construction traffic.
Yeah.
It was like just like stop and go.
Yeah. What ship did you go on?
Freedom of the Seas.
Oh wait, Freedom's in Miami.
Yeah, we went out of Miami.
Oh, you went to Miami? Oh,
Yeah.
I thought you went to Fort Lauderdale.
I didn't want to stay in Miami because
Yeah, Freedom, right? Freedom is probably using MSC's terminal,
yes,
right?
Which is beautiful.
AA, yeah.
Yeah.
MSC built their terminal. That's the newest terminal.
Yeah.
They built it for 2 ships.
Yeah.
So World America is probably was there, right? Or were you the only one there?
I think we were the only one there.
Because right now World America and MSC Divina is there.
Oh, okay.
And then Independence is there.
Yeah.
And Freedom is there.
Yeah.
And then Icon and Symphony is at Terminal A right next door.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm there all the time. I thought for some reason you were in Port Everglades right over here. I didn't know you were in Miami.
No, it's more cost effective to stay down here
and to fly into Miami.
Yes.
Fort Lauderdale. It's cheaper to fly into. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my specialty. What I do 80% of the time is Fort Lauderdale to Miami. Picking people up here, bringing them there, picking people up there.
Yeah.
So normally when I pick people up here, I think that they cruise out of Fort Lauderdale, but you're an exception.
Yeah.
Here they got the Liberty of the Seas, and
Which is an old
the
ship.
Radiance is even older.
Yeah.
Radiance, I think, was the first one.
And you know the shitty thing about those two ships is they have some really wicked destinations. They do like the longer hauls.
Yeah. Well, you know, a lot of people like the small ships. Freedom's a big ship.
Yeah.
It's not as big as the big ones, but it's still big.
It has a lot of really good amenities for both like teenagers and little kids. which is-
People love Freedom.
Yeah.
They love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that terminal's probably one of the best terminals in Miami.
Yeah.
MSC's terminal. Yeah.
We went to departures.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter which lane you're going over
Oh,
here.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's always a sad day to leave. I love seeing all the older generation. They're so active here.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
insane. Like they're on bikes, they're on like roller blades, roller skates.
Yeah.
You know, running.
I
walking.
agree. Yeah, it is. Yeah. I hope to be that way also.
Yeah, you don't
Kind of
see any
this atmosphere makes you want to be
that.
outside.
Yes.
It does. You know, you are healthier when you're in the sun too. The
Yeah.
sun, it does heal you.
Yeah.
People don't talk about it, but if you can stay in the sun, you know, a couple hours a day, it does heal you.
Yeah.
It's really good for you. Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
I feel it.
The salt water too.
That too. Yeah, I feel healthy being in the sun.
Yeah.
Even though the sun is so strong, it feels like you're getting sun poisoning.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, it is so strong. Yeah, and it's not even supposed to be right now. It's supposed to be strong come May. You know,
Yeah.
May, June, July, August is the four hottest months. But
Yeah.
see, you still got in the van. You still got like a little bit of a cool. But actually, it was very windy today.
Yeah.
You notice there was waves actually. You see the waves in the
Yeah.
ocean? We never have waves. Our water's flat like that little lake over there.
Yeah.
And our oceans are flat. There's no surfing here. But yet yesterday, especially yesterday, it was in Fort Lauderdale, which is
Yeah.
just up the block. It was a lot of white tip waves, which is
Yeah.
very unusual.
I wouldn't let my guys go in the ocean, like to swim in the ocean, just because it was too wavy for. And there's like a rip current advisory.
Was there?
Yeah.
There was Fort Lauderdale. There was a purple and red flag. So I think the purple is riptide and the red means dangerous.
Yeah.
So that means if you're not a good swimmer, you know, don't go in the water. But Fort Lauderdale, I mean, the waters here don't really have dangerous riptides. You might feel a little pressure pulling you out, but it's nothing like some other places because our ocean, unlike the Pacific, our ocean, say this is the beach
Yeah.
and this is the water, the water goes like this,
Yeah.
really far, like that. It doesn't just go like this,
Yeah.
right? Like California
Right.
and Cabo. Cabo goes boom.
Yeah.
So in a way, you can literally walk out up to your waist, and then it's still warm, and then you can actually walk out a little more, and all of a sudden it's up to your knees.
Yeah.
It went like this,
Yeah.
right? So that's why our beaches are great, and a lot of beaches in the Caribbean are like that,
Yeah.
where you can walk out far before it gets deep,
Yeah.
and it's warm,
Yeah.
and it feels safer. You know, it doesn't feel cold. Once you get to the water where it's up to your head, then the water starts getting chilly, and then people get scared to go out there.
Yeah.
They're thinking it's deep, even though it's only 5 feet. It
Yeah.
feels deep at 5 feet because it's cold. Fort Lauderdale, Miami, and Hollywood is not necessarily like that. That's why our beaches are so great. It feels safe going
Yeah.
out there. You know, you don't feel like it's getting too deep and it's dangerous.
Yeah.
You don't feel it pushing you out there.
Mhm.
Or maybe there are little rip currents, but they're not serious because rip currents are when the water drops drastically and
Right.
that undercurrent is trying to pull the water down. That doesn't happen here. It happens in a lot of places. I was caught in one in Grand Cayman and I almost died. I was walking out. I was scuba diving with a heavy weight belt, and I was walking out down the bottom of the on the bottom of the water, about
Yeah.
20 feet, just looking at the crabs and everything. And then all of a sudden I stopped and I look over. My girlfriend's going like this. She's a professional scuba diver. She's going like that, and I went, "What?" She went. And then as I looked, I just started seeing darkness, and then I stopped, and my flippers were going like this.
It was trying to pull you.
It was trying to pull,
Yeah.
and then I started leaning back, and it felt like my feet were going to go like that, and I was going to go right down. So I just I just relaxed, and slowly I took 3 steps back, and once I took 3 steps back, I was okay.
Yeah.
So I was right at that line where if you went past that line, it was sucking you in.
Yeah.
And I was like probably the most scariest moment of my life. And I'd been in motorcycle accidents, and
Yeah.
it wasn't as scary as the fear of that thing sucking me down. And it was true. I was looking down and I wasn't looking up. And when I looked up, it was just black.
Yeah.
And I was looking down and I could still see my flippers. I saw some manta rays, some seahorses. It was
Yeah.
kind of cool. I just kept walking, but I was supposed to be walking, I guess, horizontal, and I was
Yeah.
walking, and she kind of saved my life. If I looked at her and she went like that, I would have kept going. I
Yeah.
looked at her and she went,
No, don't go.
"Don't go look," and I went, "Oh my God!" So
Yeah.
I mean, that was Grand Cayman is kind of known for Grand Cayman is known for scuba diving because you can scuba dive at 100 feet.
Yeah.
But so I think like this is Terminal 1. It definitely isn't Terminal 1. Let me just double check. Canadian Airlines are all number 2. So Air Canada and Delta is number 2, and I believe yours is 2. So
Okay.
it's definitely not 1.
Yeah, no, when they lost our luggage, we flew in. I think we arrived at 1, and then they're like, "Oh no, it's on. Your luggage is on the next flight from
Yeah,
Toronto.
that's bullshit.
Come on back." So then I got the kids into the hotel, and then my oldest son and I came back, and of course we waited and waited and waited, and it
What
was
is? I
here.
mean, you don't have other than get people there safely. How much more do you have to worry about when you run an airline? I think it's very odd that somebody can even lose your luggage.
I don't know.
It's not even a big airline. You would think the bigger the airline, the more chances that it might get put on another flight. It's not even a big airline.
Well, I think the whole ticket that they wrap around got ripped off.
Or maybe then they didn't know where it went.
Yeah.
Maybe. And then maybe it never left Montreal. Or maybe it never left Ontario.
Yeah.
If they ripped it off in Canada by accident, right?
Yeah.
Being rough with it, and then it's on a cart and it has no tag.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why it's always good probably to put your own tag on there too.
And
Like
I did.
a lot of people put their own name and everything
Yeah.
on there, and then that way, if it's a good idea to do that, you're right.
Yeah. We're going slow because there's a lot of traffic. There's a lot of cars. People are needing to get to the airport to get on their airplanes.
Yeah.
There's a lot of airplanes that leave this place.
So there's Delta.
Oh, yeah. Is Carla Tucker? Okay, do you have my phone in my purse? Can I have it? I just want to make sure because that's where all of our passports are. Thank you. Whoa, I'm tired. You had a big sleep, didn't you?
Did you you didn't come into Freedom today, did you?
Nope, yesterday.
Yesterday. Okay.
Yeah.
Today was one of the busiest days of the year at the port. 8 ships today.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Yeah. Today was crazy.
Trying to manage through one ship is hard enough.
I know. Lately, I've been looking. There's a website called cruisemapper.com. You ever hear of it?
No.
Yeah, write that down. Cruisemapper.com. If you ever decide to go on another cruise, before you pick the ship, go to before you pick the day, go to cruisemapper.com and see how many ships are at Miami that day. You would
Yeah.
want to go on a cruise where there's probably 4 ships or less that day in Miami, coming and going.
Yeah.
If it's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 ships, that means your embarkation and your disembarkation is going to be a disaster. So that's what I've been doing is when I start doing pricing, I've been actually, and I kind of know how much to book based on how many ships are there, because it tells me how long it's going to take to get in and out of that port.
Yeah.
If there's 7 or 8 ships, it could take an hour to get in and out of that port.
Yeah. Last year we cruised out of Orlando or like
Port Canaveral.
Canaveral.
Yeah, a lot of passengers.
It
So
was amazing.
WestJet goes to Canada too, don't it?
Yeah.
Doesn't it? Yeah. So let me see if it's here. If it's not here, it's Terminal 3.
I wish it would say on my ticket.
Yeah, it doesn't say.
No.
That's weird. I think it's Terminal 3. Actually, it does. I think it does say when you look it up. If I look up, let me see if I have your flight number on here. Well, I wouldn't have your flight number, no. But if you go to Google and you type in your letter, and actually no, you know what? Flair doesn't do that. Flair, that's another reason why Flair is not good. Flair doesn't have real-time accounting of their flights.
Yeah.
So if you go online and type in the airline and flight number, the code, whatever it is,
Yeah.
it'll just tell you the designated departure time and the designated arrival time. It won't tell you if it's late. It won't tell you if it arrived. I know I've tried to check for Flair, and it doesn't. And it's one of the only airlines that don't give you updated information. So any other airline, if you put it in right now in Google, it'll tell you the departure time, what gate it is, if it's early, on time, or late. Flair doesn't report that way, which is probably because it's a cheaper airline. They don't want to go through that technology. They need that technology to have the Google Spider access it,
Yeah.
and their website doesn't do it. Yeah, their website is simple. It tells you when it's leaving and arriving, but doesn't tell you the updated status.
They should have to, I feel like they should have to tell you
Yep.
what terminal.
Yeah, I mean, I think so too. Yeah.
So that
But
you're not making a cluster of this area, trying
Yeah.
to figure it out.
Yeah, well, I think most airlines do tell you. If I went to like American AA something,
Yeah.
it would tell you Terminal 3. But the only reason I think Flair doesn't tell you is because they don't have that computer system that Google can access.
Yeah.
Because every time I pick people up at the airport, I just go to Google and I type in the airline and flight number. It tells me right there. It tells me if it's on time. I always know what in Miami what door number it is in terminal, but obviously not everyone does. I do, but that's really good. That's really great about that online flight status. Yeah, flight status. Yeah. Yeah, Flair doesn't do that. Flair's, I think, one of the only companies that don't do it. There's a couple in South American companies like Latam. You ever heard of Latam?
No.
Latam is it's a South American company. They don't do it, but it's a small little airline, that flies to South America out of Miami. It doesn't even fly. I don't think it flies out of Fort Lauderdale. So this is 3. Let me see if it's in here. I think it is in here.
I have a feeling we saw it down towards the end, but I don't know. When we came back to see if our luggage was here. Border, JetBlue.
Yeah, there's Border, but it doesn't say Flair. What happened to Flair? I hope it wasn't Terminal 1. I assumed it wasn't. I wasn't even looking. I can't imagine it being Terminal 1. Hope it's 4. Otherwise, you better go around. And I owe you an apology. I was talking to you and I wasn't looking. But I never heard Flair being number 1. I know it. I know all the terminals are number 1. And I know that there's no Canadian flights coming into Terminal 1.
It's probably 4 because I didn't see. I was looking at the signs.
Yeah, I think
Terminal
it is
1.
4. I think it is 4 because 4 is usually Spirit, and Spirit's building a new terminal. So Terminal 5 is being built right now, and that's going to be Spirit's hub.
Yeah.
So I think Spirit's going to take all of 5, and then all the smaller airlines like Flair are going to take the rest of 4. So I think so. I think it is Wallace. I hope so.
Yeah, they went beep beep, didn't they? I don't know how you do this for a living.
Why?
Just like the people can't drive and people are grumpy and
I mean, you don't have to be a people person in this business. What you really have to do is be a great driver, and you have to like to do it.
Yeah.
If you like to drive and you're great at it, it's a great job.
Yeah.
But not a lot of people don't like to drive, and a lot of people, I wouldn't say a lot of people are good drivers, but you got to be a great driver.
Yeah.
Being a great driver. It's just it's kind of more like an instinct than it is a talent, right?
Yeah.
It's an instinct. Yeah.
yeah.
So, other than that, if you love doing it and you're a good driver, it's actually a very good job.
I do not love
think
driving.
so. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people don't like
Yeah.
it. Yeah. I like it. There's a sense of freedom being being a driver, because you're out on the road. In between jobs, you're on your own. You can do what you want to do.
Yeah.
You know, and a lot of people think about it. A lot of people are driving to go to work to make money.
Yeah.
Here, you don't really have a job. Your driving is to make money. So
Yeah.
it's a different mentality. Most
Yeah.
people are driving, like that guy's driving, but that guy's driving to drop off his friend.
Yeah.
So driving seems like a hassle,
Yeah.
right? You got to spend money, right, for gas, right? You got to pay. But when you're driving to make money, it's kind of different. You know, you don't look at the gas or the tolls as being an expense, because you're making money to pay for that.
Yeah.
That's how I look at it. Okay, I hope it's over here.
Yeah, it's right at the end.
Woo! All right, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I think we're going to cut everybody off, because we're not going to wait over here for these people. They're not going to go. They're not going to go. We're going to have to get in front of everybody over here.
Yeah. It leaves at 8:20.
Wow, look at that. It's at the very end.
Yeah.
Yeah, I told you. So Spirit's going to leave here, and they're going to put all the other they're putting all the peculiar airlines, like Air Transtat is a new airline that just came here. Flair just came here about a year or two ago.
What is Spirit like? Have you heard?
It's very popular. It's
Yeah.
cheap and very popular. Yeah.
Because we can take Spirit out of Buffalo. Like if
Oh,
we
really?
cross the border.
Yeah, I mean, it's popular. A lot of people complain about it too, like
Yeah.
everything else. It's a discount
like a
airline.
budget
It's a
airline.
discount airline. They charge for luggage, so people don't like that.
Yeah.
They only give you one carry-on.
We don't even get a carry-on.
Yeah, they give you one carry-on.
Yes, just stay seated. Is right. Cars moving
See that
forward.
Global X? That's a weird one. You see?
Yeah.
Sunrise. See, these are all peculiar little airlines over here. And then 5 is that's under construction right there. So that's gonna be Spirit right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Sunrise, Airjet, and Global X. So I think maybe you can go right in here.
Yep. I'm gonna stay seated, sweetheart.
All right, I'm gonna open the doors for you.
Yep.